Hello, this is Bill Cludsey. Welcome to a Magic Online cube draft. This is the Legacy cube, so it's not a powered cube, but it does have very powerful cards. I guess they're all legal in Legacy. That's kind of the theme. We want to look for powerful effects, things that are going to help us win more easily than other things, and that thing is Gaia's Cradle in this pack. Just letting you do what lands shouldn't be able to do. Tap for 2, 3, 4, or 5 mana. In the mid-game, it doesn't help you so much on turn 1. Planeswalkers, I mean, some are better than others. Angrath is a new addition and doesn't seem that good, of course. It's getting you value every turn it survives. No super aggressive white card. The other early cool card here is Elvish Mystic. Sad to pass it, but the highest payoff card here is Gaia's Cradle. Ajani Goldmane. The original Ajani. Gain some life, put counters. It's a very good Anthem effect for the -1 ability. Keep doing that turn after turn. If you have creatures in play, that's great. No clear follow-up to Gaia's Cradle, which works in green ramp decks. It also works in token decks, such as, you know, white or red decks that go wide, also some black decks. This is just not a very good pack overall. Gray Merchant, Thoughtseize, Ajani, Firebolt. I guess these are all cards. I think I'm just gonna go with Thoughtseize here. I don't know what deck that'll get into, but sometimes in Cube, your opponent just has a fragile hand with one piece that they really need to make it any good at all. So you take that and you win. Another pretty weak pack. A lot of strong cards, but it's Cube. The 5 mana, 6 mana bombs are replaceable. We're looking for things that are a little less replaceable, that we need multiples of, like the early mana ramp creatures and things. Is there a follow-up to a black card here? Not really. Assemble a Legion is a fun thing. That could make tokens for Gaia's Cradle. Elspeth might be a card to ramp to with Gaia's Cradle. Supreme Verdict for a control deck. I'll take Elspeth. Why not? Mother of Runes. Now that could be getting somewhere. This is a premium 1-drop in just a white aggro deck. It also provides an early creature for Gaia's Cradle. You can treat this as a colorless land. It doesn't have to be a green deck. Typically it's good in a green deck because you can tap for green creatures, like a big green creature, but you can also look out for colorless spells like a Karn or an Ugin or a big artifact creature. Anyway, yeah, I'll take Mother of Runes here. Another one to keep your eye on is Shelduck Isle, and another one is Metamorph, but Mother of Runes is pretty great. Yeah, here's a good example of a card to ramp towards with Gaia's Cradle. The Battle Sphere. Land tax is kind of fun. Once your opponent has one more land in play than you, you can search for 3 lands from your deck, basic lands, and that gets ridiculous quickly. No white card here besides that, and it's not a huge signal to get land tax because it is somewhat situational and easy to play around. Well, not super easy to play around because you could just stop playing lands and your opponent has a 4-drop and they have to play it, but yeah, I'll just go with Battle Sphere here. Quite expensive, but yeah, we can pick up cards like Spectral Procession, and that will help our creature count. A very heavy white card. That should be fine if we're playing a mostly white deck with this Cradle and a few artifact creatures. Glenelendra is another really good one, but it looks like I mean, the synergy is more important. The synergy and consistency of your deck is more important than the innate power of cards, because all the cards in the format are good. Approach is a solid win condition. Just hard to deal with. You need to counter it, I guess. Isamaru, 1 mana 2/2. This is like a big Savannah Lions and legendary for what it's worth. But that is a way to attack early. And I like it here, so I'm going to grab it. Geist of St. Traft, aggressive. We don't have good fixing yet. Timely Reinforcements, more of a sideboard card if you're the aggressive deck, but 3 1/1 white soldiers for 3 mana would be insane. I will take Geist here. Baneslayer comes back. Thassa is here. This is a pod, it's not a league. So the rounds are going to take a little longer. Well, between rounds, so that won't affect watching the draft. But we could also cut a card that's good against us, like Slagstorm, 3 damage to everything. Baneslayer's good enough here that I'll take that. Johnny comes back. Very happy to see that. I mean, it doesn't look insanely good, but it can be the perfect turn 4 play if you have a few creatures. Yeah, Johnny's quite nice. The ultimate is not really worth going towards. Solid in a mirror match, aggro on burn or something. I wonder, Courtyard, I'm not a big fan of that. I wonder if Supreme Verdict is the kind of thing we could take. I guess it might be good in again, a mirror match, like a creature-based mirror, where if we have it, we can decide when to play it. Pretty good if you get something going like an Elspeth. This is a more expensive version of this deck than I would generally be comfortable with. I'd like to sort of top out at 4 mana, not 7 mana. But we haven't really gotten the cards for that, so this is what we're dealing with. It's nice to get back land tax. It's not the most important card for the deck, and you can build the deck without it, but you can't build the deck without a critical mass of creatures. Maybe this pack was just a little bit light on creatures, and we'll get rewarded in the next pack, getting past 2 by Jimmy, Juski, Reaper, Scrum, Frey, Adst, and Hrios. 2 swords in this pack, the better one generally being Sword of Fire and Ice. Sword of War and Peace is very good against this type of deck, so it would be good in, you know, the white versus red mirror match. But I will take Sword of Fire and Ice. Maybe we can get some Equipment Matters cards. And not much else here. Like, I would probably take a decent 2-drop or 1-drop creature over it to make sure we get that kind of stuff, but the sword is good enough here. It's exactly what the Geist wants. And the 4-drop creatures, I'm not so interested in those. Spirit, Spell Queller. Ulamog's very good. Yeah, I'm okay without 4-drop creatures. I'm not sure what we're really supposed to do here. We could just go and try to be a late game deck. That doesn't sound too exciting to me. So we could take Sublime Archangel and hope to survive to the mid game and win off of those kind of cards. Rashadan Port, also pretty good in aggro decks like this. But then again, we want to be heavy white if we can afford to. I'll take the Angel. Someone else has our exact plan, even though we passed barely any white in pack 1. I don't think so. I think it might just be a couple weak packs for us. Let's grab Westvale Abbey in the hopes that going wide with a bunch of tokens is it. Yeah, I guess this is not white's best draft. Umezawa's Jite is going to be good in a creature-based battle like this. Sword of Body and Mind is another good one. But we need some creatures here. Maybe we take Walking Ballista. We can put counters on it with Goldmane, and It's kind of small to begin with. Nah, I'm just going to take Sword of Body and Mind. This is the second best sword, or maybe the first best. Protection from blue is huge, and milling 10. Like, this hits your opponent once, and they lose half the rest of their deck. Hits them twice, they're pretty much dead. Sword of Fire and Ice has a nice effect as well, but it doesn't win quite as quickly as often. Sorin, get a vampire. If anything, we're splashing blue, so I don't really love that. Counterspell? And Declaration in Stone. We don't have the mana fixing to splash anything. But I guess if we were splashing something, I'll just take Declaration. Incoming train wreck here, but we'll have to pivot to a more control-based deck, which is possible. Oh, that's weird to see Glorious Anthem here. If none of the white cards are being passed, then why are we seeing an Anthem? Pretty strange. Reinforcements would be fine if we were in red, but I'll take the Anthem effect. It could still work out here. We just need to get about 6 more creatures. And then all of our creatures will be monsters with this equipment. There we go. Mentor, I mean, I'm not going to complain. The other card we could take is Colonnade to help splash all these blue cards. And that's a fair control card itself. That's really tough, actually. Yeah, maybe I'll take Mentor, or the Colonnade here. The first piece of fixing, Mentor would be great. We just don't have that many creatures. Like, get Elspeth in play, +1 to get 3 soldiers, draw a couple cards off that. That might be decent. Sky Sovereign, crew 3, so not much that we have crews it. Sword of War and Peace, I mean, we're just the weaponry deck. This is definitely turning into more of a blue-white deck. Ice. At this point, we're main decking it without the red half. Yeah, a blue-white control / token-based deck. That's the fun part of Cube. You can try to go in one direction and get forced into a new archetype that you've never tried before. And you just have to do the best you can with it, and it might surprise you at how well it does. And the cool part about Cube is, like, all the cards are good, so you can have success with just about any deck. Tarmogoyf, Read the Bones, yeah, none of this stuff is great. If really weird things happen, we could end up in black. Yeah, Sorin coming back. Master of Waves. This, if you're very light blue, this could be a sideboard card against a red deck. Protection from red is pretty good. Getting 2 bodies no matter what is pretty good. Ooh, Faith's Fetters. Solid control card. Flooded Strand would help us immensely with our mana. And then Adanto Vanguard is our first white creature in our white creature deck. Yeah, I'll go for the Strand here. Sorry, Vanguard and Fetters. That's how much I love this mana, this fixing. It's so important. And since we're kind of leaning towards more of a control deck, yeah, like even something like Glorious Anthem could be cut here. Yeah. We don't need as much of the early creatures. Blade Splicer pretty good, Lingering Souls, and Hallowed Fountain. Tough one because Lingering Souls would be hard to flash back. Blade Splicer is obviously great, but the mana is going to allow us to play all of the blue cards that we might want. Here's a good one, Kytheon. One of the premium 1-drops in an aggro deck. And for that, it holds a jite and a sword pretty well. So I'll just snap that up. I mean, despite having control elements in this deck, we still need things to hold our swords. Make some early pressure, and then counter whatever they're doing later. Well, counter with Daze and Spell Queller, so I'm not sure how controlling that feels, but we do seem to favor some removal in this build over pure aggression. Kind of tough. There's no real knight synergy. I don't think we have a knight yet. Soldier, Hound, Cleric. Yeah, so it's too bad about history because it's just not the best synergistic format for it. But Student of Warfare is pretty good. Oh, hey, that's a knight. All right, it does have some synergy, but yeah. One less mana makes all the difference. Oh, wow. Here's a 5-drop, Angel of Invention. And then here is a good 2-drop card, Honor of the Pure. Probably the best card for the mono-white deck. And maybe we're heading back in that direction. This pack is just rewarding us for having all these white creatures. Johnny Unyielding, no thanks. Windbrisk Heights is pretty good. It's just like a battalion trigger. If you've attacked with 3 or more creatures in a turn, you get to get a free card that you hid away. So that's not too big of a cost for a pretty potentially huge upside. Not much here. Settle and Knight that we can't fix for. Maybe Settle for the sideboard. Journey and Fortress. I guess we go for Journey here. Almost looks like a deck. Boros Reckoner. Yeah, that's a good one. And it holds equipment pretty well, having the ability to get first strike and whatever. Parallax Wave. Surprisingly good in an aggressive deck because it's just like destroy 5 target creatures, exile 5 target creatures for 1 turn, or 4 creatures for 2 turns, or 3 creatures for 3 turns. That's the kind of upside you're getting with the wave. Just remove any blockers that you might want to deal with, and this can remove some pretty big threats from the table. Oh boy, Armageddon. Yeah, this is not the curve topper we want. It's possible we could use it, especially with land tax, but when we're playing cards like Elspeth and Battlesphere, you know, on the other hand, we don't have anything else to take. At this point, yeah, still too few creatures for Anthem. I'm not sure if Honor of the Pure makes the deck, although it's a nice turn 2 play after any 1-drop here. More creatures would be nice. Oh well, this build is 23 cards, plus a bunch of lands. And it's fair enough. I mean, we have 4 pretty good blue cards, Daze, just hanging out here. Mana Tithe would be better, of course, but what can you do? Just hope these are good from time to time. And the worse a card is, the less that card will be expected. So there's kind of a buffer there for how bad a card will be. Someone will never play, oh, that deck doesn't play that card, so the card isn't played around, and then it can really punish someone not playing around it when they otherwise could have. Yeah, playing a lot of lands here actually sucks until we have an early land tax and then can remove them all from our deck. Just get 3 lands out of your deck every turn, even if that means discarding to hand size. 17-4 or 18-4. We don't really have red. 18-4. So I think 5 blue sources total will be good. I don't think we're really missing anything here. Maybe Armageddon. I'm not sad about losing out on Anthem. Cradle can come in as a colorless source. Then we'll put in Westvale Abbey as another source. Cut those. Windbrisk Heights comes in for this. And just to have one basic blue to find with land tax, we'll cut another white for Colonnade. I'm hopeful that this deck can win a match. In the pod draft, it is single elimination, so the main goal is to win your first round, and that pays for the draft, and after that it's all upside. So hopefully we get at least that far. It has the advantage of punishing very slow draws because it does get aggression out early and can be pretty busted against any blue-green or blue-red decks, certainly. So, a lot of potential here. Stay tuned for the matches. I've just been staring at this for a while. I'm going to be optimistic here and bring in Armageddon for Supreme Verdict. Supreme Verdict just hurts us more, and if we can get a few threats out, turn 4 Armageddon, that might just win the game right away. And that's optimism for you. Round 1. Unfortunately on the draw, but fortunately, pretty good start here. Turn 1 Kytheon, turn 2 Windbrisk Heights, and then hopefully some creatures after that. Ooh, Sheldock Isle. That will be a good one to kill with Armageddon if we get there, but that's no reason not to play our Windbrisk Heights out. This is going to take them a while to activate. It's possible we can use our heights before we Armageddon. This new background. This could happen. This could be the new card back. I mean, everyone's playing sleeves anyway, so who cares what the back looks like? You just have to make sure those sleeves are really opaque. Yep, this is attack first. Some kind of blue-black reanimation or control deck is what I would expect here. What gave it away? They might have some interaction. Just thinking about if it's worth doing here or if they can take the 2 damage. It's a bit tough. I'm going to go for Parallax Wave because if it is some reanimation strategy, we'll need an answer to some creatures maybe. And it's something we can do before blocks. If we attack with 3 creatures, Parallax Wave, wipe their blockers, and the GT is not that quick. You can get it in the turn you attack, but it's only going to be doing anything the next turn. Cool. Sword into equip, and then hope we get an early drop. They're going to start exiling stuff, and Ashiok's so hard to get. They exile. What do they exile? That's revealed zone. Plains, Elspeth, and some other junk. Now, the only card we really have to play is this sword, which is going to be good against their blue. But it might not save our Kytheon here. I will attack Ashiok. They'd love to get Boros Reckoner into play against an aggro deck, and if it's at 3 loyalty, they have to lose their Ashiok to do it. So I'm sure they'll just plus Ashiok here and kill Kytheon. Archangel could be solid. depending on what happens here. I mean, we have to play Archangel if they kill Kytheon. Otherwise, it'll depend what we draw if we want to use Sword of Body and Mind. It just depends on what happens here. They will plus Ashiok, and that's fair enough. It's going to get further and further away from this poor Kytheon. Oh, don't deal with Kytheon, please. Things aren't too awkward. I mean, we can survive a bunch of mills from... Yeah, they're dealing with it from Ashiok, and the creatures they can get back with it now aren't amazing. Go Archangel. Careful not to misclick on Armageddon there. And if they deal with the Archangel, that's not good. But if they don't, Ashiok is going to have some trouble surviving here. That's not even true. They can plus it to 7. And unless we find 2 creatures to play this next turn, which is possible. No, well, Spectral Procession would be the easy way. Yeah, the best answer would be to draw a 3-drop creature and equip Sword of Body and Mind to Sublime Archangel. Let's see what we get. So they get another creature, our Geist, and a couple more random support cards. And they can use Shelduck Isle now. Wonder what they got. 1 mana for whatever card they liked out of their top 4 when they played Shelduck Isle. Search for tomorrow. And they can still do Shelduck Isle. Nicol Bolas or something. If it's any Planeswalker... Ooh, Time Warp. That's a good one with Ashiok. But we still have hope. It wasn't something that dealt with Archangel, which would be even worse. Took them long enough for that to register. Well, yeah, I wonder if they'll use Ashiok now or just get it up to 9. Yeah, up to 9. And that's probably out of range of any Sublime Archangel play. And there's Vraska. Goodbye, Angel. Might be worth conceding there. But instead of conceding, I'm going to keep playing. Vraska can't kill the Angel this turn. Ashiok can't kill it. Exile all cards from all opponents' hands and graveyards. That's pretty mean. Vraska can just plus and kind of protect herself, or at least get revenge on anyone who tries to kill her. Plussing Ashiok again. Finding Sword of Fire and Ice. Body and Mind is good against a Sultai deck. Ooh, reanimate Sublime Archangel. That puts them a little lower. Glenalendra's good, with the 1 mana up to counter any non-creature spell. What can we do about this? What indeed? See if they counter a Johnny here. Probably not. I don't know. Maybe they do. Eight. Who do we go for? Maybe Ashiok. But Ashiok's ability, I'd rather they use the ultimate than the plus here. I'll just go for them. Doesn't really matter because they can block whatever we do. Fortunately, they cannot kill Baneslayer with Vraska. They can kill Sword of Body and Mind with Vraska, but that kills Vraska too. Gonna be a tough one. They can use Ashiok's ultimate as a Mind Rot. That's about all it does. Pretty much still hellbent. They will use Vraska to take down Sword of Fire and Ice, or Body and Mind. And that means Glenelendra can block Baneslayer. And they're going to keep plussing here. They get to see every card in our deck. Nightveil Spectre. Rampant Growth. Now they're hellbent, but they have a bunch of creatures and a planeswalker that's just killing us. Yep. Yeah, just keep giving this thing vigilance. I think they want to block this. And then I'll bait this with... I'll bait the Glenelendra with Armageddon. I don't even want them to counter it, but... if they do counter it, at least we'll play our Colonnade and keep going from there. Tough call. What's it gonna be? Yeah, like I don't think there's any way we can race Ashiok if all the lands die. The one way, so we'll get 2 more turns. No, not even. Yeah, we get next turn and that's it. They let it happen. Yeah, pretty good. We need to draw something really nice. Sell the top 3, so this is our last turn. Unless we kill Ashiok or kill them. Hound doesn't do it. Let's play it out. Hound, get some counters. Go for them. Let them mill the rest of our deck here. They don't get much, just Jite. And that's it. We lose to not being able to draw a card. Pretty neat. The main deck build seems well suited to this matchup, so let's submit. Back for game 2 with a mediocre hand at best. The upside of this hand is if we draw blue, we have Geist and a sword, and that's pretty good. Wow. Yeah, we do have the turn 3 Geist. It's a shame that if we win this game, we're going to win it very quickly, because our opponent's been using 8 times as much time as we have. And their deck's a little more complicated than ours. But it seems to be mechanical things, like passing the turn when you have nothing else to do. Those kind of things are taking quite a while. Which is great on Magic Online, but on borderline cheating in real life, where there's no chess clock. Oh, that's funny. Exalted, whenever a creature you control attacks alone. So you can get Geist of St. Traft exalted, if I understand correctly. Which I do. Garruk. Garruk's not really enough, is it? What is this? Reach a non-token creature. Chainer's Edict. Oh, come on! Well, that's very convenient. Very nice. That's okay. Get the Archangel here, and next turn, that's an Archangel attacking for 7 with a Flaming Sword of Fire and Ice. We can only hope. I mean, this is so fragile. This is why I like 1-drop 2/2s in this deck rather than 4-drop crazy abilities, because they just die. Dies to Doomblade. What's this monster? Vraska? No. Consecrated Sphinx. Cool. Huh. Well, let's declare the Sphinx, hold up Spell Queller, and use the Archangel to kill Garruk this turn. I might have just wanted to kill Garruk anyway. And then if we hit Garruk, Sword of Fire and Ice doesn't trigger. And that's the real benefit you get from hitting with that. And you know, 1 trigger from Sword of Fire and Ice probably is not worth a Planeswalker. And it would mean not killing the Sphinx, which is also worth more than 1 trigger of Sword of Fire and Ice. The sword gets really good when the shock kills something, but it's not killing them, it's not helping kill their Planeswalker. So I feel pretty confident about this turn. The worst part of this turn is not tapping Westvale Abbey, but that's no big deal. The second worst part is them having way too many cards in their hand. Toxic Deluge. Huh. Do we try to get this? I think we try to get this thing. Cool. Now if they kill Spell Queller, they can still do it, but I'm pretty sure they still have to pay life. Vampire Nighthawk. Ouch. That's annoying. That's one that we can't get past with just Sword of Fire and Ice. Oh well, let's do this. All our creatures have Exalted, and then equip Spell Queller with Sword of Fire and Ice. That makes it a little more resilient, less likely that they can just unlock Toxic Deluge. I'm sure they have to block this, which is fine. Think about, I mean, they might have Force of Will, they might have some other instant speed free interaction, because that does exist in Legacy Cube. This makes it more difficult. They have to unpack this carefully. They have to go after Sword first, and then Spell Queller, or have a black answer. Or Wrath effect. There's a few things that will do it. Skin Render, not quite an answer, but pretty close. Pretty close. This plus Disfigure does it. Where to put it? Where do you want to put it? They'll figure it out eventually. You hope for their sake they figure it out. What do I do next? I'm pretty sure I wanted to do Skin Render, but I didn't think about what to do after that. Jeez. At least this is their last chance to do Deluge, and they probably just don't do it. And the last card in their hand. So this game is taking a while, which is fine by me. We can level up Student and equip, level it up twice and equip, so that becomes what, a 5/5 first strike? I'll take it. Do we let this resolve? Might just be some kind of connection issue. And we'll level it up as much as possible here. I'm not going to bluff any Path to Exile or something, because that second tier level 7 and above, becomes pretty good. With the sword, it'll be a 6/6 double strike, and double strike on creatures with swords, that gets pretty scary. The first strike is great here because Skin Render can't team up with something to kill Student. Something like a Brutality. What do they have now? They are going to crack the Clue. 2 cards left with 5 mana of all kinds of colors. No, Fatal Push. Ugh. Every answer in the world. Land is good. And we might still be in this with our Battle Sphere. They just have removal for the Battle Sphere. That's okay too. No, they just want to use that to get a shock land. Yeah, when they untap, they'll get to use Shelduck Isle, but this is going to be a painful turn for them. Yeah, if we draw land, we're in even better shape. Ooh. We could have done a lot of cool stuff with land. Oh well. It wasn't meant to be this turn. I wonder. Oh, that's kind of... No, yeah, we still need land to do all that because it's 5 to activate Colonnade. And 2 to equip this, so we just don't have enough. Okay. All right. Mother of Runes, activate Colonnade attack, or Sword of Fire and Ice on Battlesphere attack. Or Sword of Fire and Ice on a Murren attack. Gets in 3, 7. And they could trade the Skin Render with a Murr token, but they get hit by the Battlesphere. I guess that's fine. Just split up our guys here. Yeah, they'll trade there. Skin Render for 1 Murr token. I mean, that's perfectly fine, I think. And then Sword can go just about anywhere. I'll put the Sword on Mother. They're at such low life. I guess we could have put it on the Battlesphere. That would have worked better. Because as soon as that attacks, it just says 3 to them. Yeah, that got them, and they have got 6.5 minutes left to win this last game. How can we make sure they do not? Playing ice? No. Land tax. Land tax will be good, especially on the draw. Yeah, seems good. Doesn't look like they changed up their deck much. Ooh. Yeah. Don't want to draw many more lands, so let's just get this party started. And the plan is Hallowed Fountain comes into play tapped. Did they kill Mother of Runes right away? That's pretty good. This comes into play tapped, and then turn 3 we've got Boros Reckoner. Saving Spell Queller for when they have less answers. Sword's a nice 5-mana play. Ooh, Skin Render. That's a good one. Gonna get an Ashiok with our Spell Queller, no doubt. Don't be a 5-drop. Time Warp, come on. The Time Warp, and this Skin Render's not one we can block. Converted mana cost 4 or less. Exile it under Spell Queller. Reanimate. No thanks. They just don't have too much left to do. And this at least gets something and slows them down. If they... Vampire Nighthawk. That's not ideal. Now what? I could equip this sword. That's pretty good here. Instead of Parallax Wave, and then we can use Parallax Wave next turn. I think they just have negate or something. And we'll leave the Spell Queller back to block the Skin Render at least. Thirst. Ooh, that's going to help them find a black spell that can kill Spell Queller, maybe. But the idea here is we play out Parallax Wave this turn, and then there'll be 3 turns without these guys, and that's plenty of time to kill, to mill them, really. Crazy attack, I think. Oh, we got it. Back in it. So that breaks even, and if we win the next one, we're in the finals. Round 2 with our signature turn 1 play, Kytheon. And nothing at all on turn 2. Maybe a land. This could be an insane start. Procession into Sublime Archangel. Attacks for a lot. Baral, some kind of Grixis stormy, spelly deck. It's a good blocker for Kytheon. Sad but true, no bluffing here. It's a lot harder to bluff in Cube where there's just no tricks. Look at this. Oh well. They must have Opt or Brainstorm or something. Hopefully not Force Spike. That would just be the worst. Daze, Remand, yeah. Right. Baral pretty good as it turns out. Nico Bolas. Don't need Battlesphere. We might need it, but right now we're not really getting to that much mana. Parallax Wave. A fair card, but I'll just go for the Archangel, which can attack through this board pretty soon. They know we have Procession, but that means another 5 power onto our single attacker. They do have Opt, so maybe that was the play they were holding up in case of a turn 3 Kytheon attack. That's a lot of little elementals, more than our Parallax Wave can deal with. Sword of Fire and Ice would go a long way in this matchup. Like, that would be the perfect draw here, as long as it doesn't get countered. Very few uncounterable threats, which is part of why you just want cheap creatures. Yeah, this is our game to lose. And not because we're winning it. Can't do 2 things here anyway. What's the best thing? Elspeth. Forget about the order there. And then Procession. One more mana until Bolas flips. I'm not sure what that does on this board. Allure also does nothing. Kira... Kira's kind of annoying if we're planning on winning with Parallax Wave. Oh boy. Take 8. Sure, I'll take 8. 9? Maybe not 9. That's where I draw the line. So how does this work? We just see what they do. And then we exile Kira, and then we exile one more thing. And that'll last for a couple of turns. Land, all right. So if they go to flip Bolus, we can exile it before it really flips. Awkward turn. Dare I say we have a chance? They might need to attack with everything to make sure we don't use our Windbrisk Kites, because if they attack with everything, I guess we'd still win that without losing anything. Take it to 1. They can't activate this in combat or anything, so that's fine. Going to 1 is not good for us. But do we have another option? If you can't sacrifice it, remove a fade counter if you can't. So we really don't want to do that again. So we'll do this. Survive at 1. Have all of our creatures. Probably get Elspeth into play. Jite. Oh, that's also good. We can equip that. And use Windbrisk Heights. Oh, that's really good. Cast this. I'll definitely use one Umezawa's Jite counter to kill the Pyromancer. Create 3 of these things. Now, they'll be able to use the lure to steal something, but they won't be able to use it to steal the creature equipped with the Jite, and if they steal a spirit, it becomes a 1/1 on their side. So we can remove that as a blocker. Yeah, so this just counters the allure here. Maybe they didn't realize that that's what was happening. Or maybe they just didn't want it to have that last counter. This is not the game I thought I was winning, but there's a chance, unless this is like Lightning Strike or something. Bedlam Reveler? Discard your hand and then draw 3 cards? Oh, it's so we didn't gain the life, I bet. Now any piece of burn kills us. Do you think? Don't do it. Don't burn us. Rabble Master's fine. Funny that they did that on their second main. Okay. This is the last turn where they... I don't actually know where these creatures are. I think it's Kira and Nicol Bolas coming back. Destroy all creatures with power 4 or greater. Right now that's not very much. Daze doesn't do anything here. These won't have... yeah, so that'll be our next turn, and that doesn't do anything. So I wonder... all their creatures are ground creatures. That's 4 attackers. We're going to have Boros Reckoner. We can just attack with everything here. Okay. Get those counters. Get these blockers. And possibly re-equip Boros Reckoner. Oh yeah, because they'll have to attack with the Goblin. Sounds good to me. They can't see that this has counters on it when the creature's untapped. Oh well. We're still probably dead to something here. Stormbreath Dragon. Oh dear. It's funny, but I think we survived that, if barely. Oh, we definitely survive, yeah. That's too bad for them. You know, depending on what happens here. They have to attack with this Goblin. And then before damage is dealt, yeah, how awkward. I mean, it just depends on what else they have in their hand. Yeah, maybe they have to leave back the dragon. But we can use Elspeth to kill the dragon. So I guess they'd rather do the 4 damage to us. Make sure we're stopping on damage here. This has first strike? This doesn't have first strike. We have to give it first strike. Well, that's a punt. Oh, no. That's the worst. That's actually the worst. All right, well, I would have definitely won that game. Maybe we'll win this game, and all will be forgiven. Too many things going on there. And I could have done either thing. I could have, yeah, what do they get here? Reckoner. I could have gained 4 life, or given it first strike. In both ways, I would definitely not have made that mistake. What do we want? I guess it's Armageddon. Not that we'll ever get enough creatures to attack with, but you know, maybe we will. Good lands. It's a bounce spell, yeah. Okay. Not the land we want here. At least that gives Kytheon indestructible if it really needs it. Bloodghast can't block. Doesn't seem very good. Upkeep. What have you got? Nothing. Well, that's not going to cut it. Baneslayer, see if that survives. We can just attack with Kytheon here, which maybe we should have done first. Although, if they kill Kytheon in combat, then we don't get our Baneslayer. This next turn, Sublime Archangel lets Baneslayer attack as an 8/8. We could even play Journey in addition to that. Archangel's very good. Oh no. Bedlam Reveler. Discard their hand, draw 3, and it's a 3/4 with prowess. Don't forget the prowess. Yeah, let's do this in case they have a daze. Maybe we just don't need to worry about it. Get all these exalted triggers yielded to, each one yielding to it separately. And then I'll hold the Journey to Nowhere, because that also lets us hold up Kytheon's indestructibility. Which is not going to be relevant, but it's more relevant to hold our Journey for a creature that matters, because on this board, I mean, we're at so much life that their vanilla creatures don't matter. Interesting. This is going to be targeted at the Archangel. And there's nothing we can do about that. But they're not in great shape either. They hold back Reveler, which is pretty good. Just don't take damage, we don't need to. Maybe they'll play a land second main and get us. Yikes. Journey. I mean, it's unclear if that's the right play, but it's a play. Start holding lands back in case we ever get this Armageddon. But yeah, it's just a matter of can they kill our Baneslayer, Angel Slayer, Baneslayer, Angel. And if they can, the game continues. Brawl doesn't do it. Yeah, like, all right, if you insist. That might do it. That might do it. It looks like it does not, but... Oh, they're just playing a blocker. That's fine. Is it a demon or a dragon? No, so They get away with it. And we might as well use one more white to level, because Gaia's Cradle will always save Kytheon here. I can't see them killing our creatures one by one. Even then, we would just use it to give it indestructible. And they're done. All right. So maybe we can still win this match despite the glaring misplay. Sword of War and Peace. That might just be good enough here. All of our swords are good in this matchup. And Armageddon is not as good. Well, I've still got hope for Armageddon. It can still be fine. Master of Waves might be reasonable. I'll cut Daze. I'll cut Land Tax. Yeah, that looks good. Oh, I should have kept Land Tax in. For some reason I thought I'd be on the play. Oh well. Once we find a creature, this hand's pretty good. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Just do as much damage to ourselves as possible here. For this Student of Warfare, which may or may not get so much bigger. Yeah, we definitely want to not draw land, and we definitely want to do all our stuff. Not great for them. They were on the play, so land tax wouldn't have been great here if they can't find a third land. And they're back to just passing. Good game, I guess so. Shucks. I guess this was a good game after all. I mean, I would say good game back, but I feel like they're just not conceding, so like, is it a good game? If they beat me, I don't know. But like, it does more damage to you, and you're obviously looking for something. See what happens here. We'll put this on the student swing here, because now they want to kill both. Do I deserve this win? Definitely. Just keep going. Wow, to the finals. Oh, what crazy. Yeah, I mean, game one, my heart was in the right place. I just forgot that that creature didn't have first strike to begin with. And there was no reason not to gain the life before doing the damage anyway. But yeah, it was sloppy, and I don't always play Legacy Cube, so I'm not always playing with these cards to remember what they do. And it's not like I take the time to reread the card. If I think I know what the card does, I'll just play with it. On to the finals. Here we are in the finals. Yes, we'll play first, and we've got that turn 1 Kytheon. Keep this. Actually, we might want to do Isamaru instead, because in case they have a 1 damage spell, this is a little better, I guess. Doesn't make much difference. Doesn't look like that's going to be it. And then we get more in here if we go Kytheon on our next turn. Not Kytheon on our next turn, but Kytheon this turn on our next turn, if that wasn't clear. Yeah, I still like that. They can take 4 to block 3, which is not what I anticipate them doing. Journey's a good answer to Vanguard. Not that we'll need an answer to it. We already race it. Council's Judgment. Oh, are they going to get honor, I wonder? We'll have to be careful to vote for the same thing. Yeah, I see a vote appear. Exiling anything without targeting it, which is crazy. Wow. Let's grab Elspeth. Always like an Elspeth. And then Journey? Yeah, let's do Journey here. If it's, it'll be really funny if they activate. No, they're not. They're in the finals. They know what they're doing. They know how abilities work. Unlike us, we're just lucky to be here. Oh well. Looks grim. 2 turns to kill them, but speed things along if we draw land. Or that. It's pretty good too. Without, I mean, they're not playing blue, so there's very little they can do, and we have to settle. Time to get them super low. Sublime Archangel doesn't do nearly as much here. 5. That's pretty good. Unexpectedly absent, and they did it for 2. Beneath the top 2, so in 3 turns we'll draw Kytheon again, which hardly matters, but maybe we'll draw land before then. Yes, we get land. We can make this Isamaru a 6/6. Which doesn't help a ton. Yeah, let's just get this Sublime Archangel into play. Minus Johnny. Can't keep track of all these names. Play this. Swing with Isamaru for no real reason. It has Vigilance, so they pretty much have to double block it. No, maybe we just don't swing with it. Then they want to attack a Johnny. If they have spot removal for Sublime Archangel, we're in really bad shape. But we're a lot better if we don't swing here. Silverblade. Yeah, give that to your Angel of Invention. And then what happens? Flying Vigilance Lifelink Double Strike. They can go up to... No, it's not going to be good enough. They can go up to 7. Oh, Vigilance. Why does it have Vigilance? That's rough. Oh, no. This was supposed to be easy. This was the easy game. It's all right. Vigilance too? Shoot. Fortunately, we're not dead here. We don't need this exalted thing, but it does leave us a blocker back on the ground. So yeah, they have 1 turn to figure something out. I'm playing this game well, I think. Haven't missed any onboard tricks yet. They gain another 4 life, which is annoying because it means, well, we could find a creature and then we get back to enough damage, or pretty close. Wow. That's 10 right there. That's 12. 11. They're going to go up to 11. I'll just block like this. I think they're hoping that we lose Isamaru. But let's not. Let's not lose Isamaru. Yeah, Kytheon is a good play, first of all. And then we can attack with both, forcing a block. That's got to be correct. They only have one card in hand. And we just hope it's not good enough. So they block Sublime Archangel. They go up to 15 and they go down to 11 again. And what can we do? If we move the sword, Archangel dies. So probably not that. But that's a classic way to lose a creature without expecting to. Kytheon, this might be the concession point. Although, I mean, they're not dead on board unless we draw a creature. Because it's still just 10 in the air with Archangel. No, if Archangel hits, it's a 12 because Sword of Fire and Ice does an extra 2. So they need an answer. Cloud Goat Ranger is an answer. In fact, it's an answer that trades with the Sublime Archangel if they give it double strike here. Spooky. Maybe we can attack with everything and then get Elspeth into play. Land tax. 6. It looks like, yeah, we are behind on land, so that might do something. Attacking with everything also flips our Kytheon at the end of combat. Yeah, just attack with everything. Hold on. This will become a 5-power double strike creature, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we just have to attack with everything here. Maybe they don't give away their Cloud Goat Ranger. Yeah, they're going to have to block there. They really don't want the Archangel to hit because that draws us a card. And other stuff. Oh, interesting. We have plenty of mana to do everything here. They take 4. They lose their 2 best cards. We lose our best card. Well, Sword is probably our best card. And what does this thing do? Untap a creature. Something they have has to attack our creature. And then this becomes a big monster. Yeah, well, first things first. Elspeth comes down. Make some monsters. Soldier has to attack in case they reincarnate Cloud Goat Ranger. They'll have less to do with it. Maybe that's a reason to do the servo, because they could tap the soldier before attacks. No, this also makes sense. All right, looking rough. Can they win this turn? Yeah, not even most of the fireballs would do it. Blade Splicer. This is, I love how it's 2 practically mono-white decks in the finals. I knew we were cut by someone. They have all our early creatures. Fair enough. Always yes, always yield, and we just want to thin our deck before we draw, so island, plains, plains. Cool. I don't know what to do here. Make Gideon a 4/4 and attack. Make all our creatures somewhat threatening. Oh, that wasn't great. They just block this with the golem, don't they? I stand by it. Get him! They pretty much have to chump our other things. Oh, maybe they don't. Oh! Oh, it's not what I expected. Yeah, works out even better for us then. Maybe they respected our... some trick to get rid of this Blade Splicer in response. I have no idea. Re-equip the sword. I guess the sword's fine where it is, but re-equipping it is also fine. No, it's not, because that'll kill our thing. So, more levels. Your turn. It's gonna be tough. Sky Marcher, thanks for showing me the creature that I could have had in my deck. This is a good one for Supreme Verdict, I would say, and sort of War and Peace over Body and Mind. I also like sort of Fire and Ice. Settle's another good one. Over Days. And since we're on the draw, land tax is better. I'll take out Settle though. Take out Armageddon. That's the one. That's it. The perfect matchup for us. Turn 1 land tax. It's still good enough here. Turn 1 Isamaru is not going to be bad. Of course, if that's all we can do this game, that might be bad. Shock ourselves. Ouch, ouch, ouch. But land is not a real luxury we have here, and we have 2 blue cards. I would not mind a 3/3 hound creature on turn 2. Let's get that land. Yes, we did it. We can't block the Vanguard, so we will attack past it. Way behind because of this fetch shock. No, creatures and non-basics enter tapped. I'm glad we have that out of the way. Buh. Still winnable. They could flood the board and we have Supreme Verdict backup. Spell Queller to answer something. Rashadan Port's gonna be annoying. Oh no, that means we need 3 more lands for the Verdict. If they use it each turn, which they might. Yeah, take it this turn. We can always block next turn, which we will if we draw land here. And if we don't draw land, we're just dead. Creatures enter tapped. Yeah, so so this is fun. I will block Vanguard this turn. If they don't kill Isamaru. Ouch. Oh, did they put it right on top? That's game over. Yeah. That's game over. Not drawing land. Yeah, I like the hand setup. If not the result of that game. Or the deck setup. Land tax could come out. Land tax out. Anthem in. Nah, land tax is fine. Play this. Ooh, another tough one. Keep this, and I think we're gonna do Flooded Strand for our painful land here again. There are cards that care about having triple white on turn 3. Go Student. Plains, level. Heights, and then Archangel. Or maybe Westvale Abbey. But we do want the double level this turn. That third toughness is often enough to dodge most removal. Or at least some more removal. Geist will be so good to get down here. And then if they don't have a relevant blocker for it, or only one blocker for it, then Declaration gets good. Geist, but that's so hard for them to deal with. Damnation, Wrath. These are cards they could have sided in, kind of like we brought in our Wrath. Oh, History. History. Let's see what we get here. I guess it's Kytheon. Not too overly exciting. How does Kytheon read? Oh, it has to attack. It doesn't just check at the end of combat. Now, it could attack with Geist of St. Traft, but I'm more interested in getting both knights with Declaration of Stone. Maybe. No, maybe not. Next turn will be pretty good no matter what we do. Nah, we should get both knights, shouldn't we? Oh well. Oh well. Get all the knights. Completely answer history with one card. It would have been fun to use a Johnny to attack past the second knight, depending if they had anything. And they'll just attack for 2, that's fine. And hopefully not play a big creature like a 3/3. We'll just have to see. Well, that's pretty good. And it's a knight. It would be a knight. Oh, it would be a knight, wouldn't it? It's not getting any easier. Exile all attacking creatures. They search their library for that many basic land cards, including for each of their tokens. Attack for 5 there. Maybe Sublime Archangel's the way to go. No, we should just hold up Settle the Wreckage. Wow, what a game. I mean, they get infinite value out of this, especially if they get the 1/1s from Hero of Bladehold. We should just let if they stack the trigger wrong, they're not stacking it wrong. We also want to kill those, so settle here. To choose target player, exile all attacking creatures target player controls. Let's target them. Maybe it was worded for some reason, like choose target player, exile all creatures attacking that player or something. Yep, well, they get 5 lands. It's kind of messed up. Hopefully they can't use them, or this game is over before they really matter. 5 planes. Was it worth it? Yeah, totally. Get our Ajani in next turn. Or at the very least, declare something. Land tax? Oh. That could be good. Maybe not this turn, though. Go Johnny this turn. That, ooh, that's, blah. Yeah, still use this, and then I guess we could attack with Isamaru and trade it with their factory. But I'd rather wait. Factory's a much better blocker than attacker. Weird game. Maybe we should have just used the land tax there. Schadenport. Phyrexian Revoker naming a Johnny. That's fine. We can deal with that whenever we want. Land would be fine here. Of course, they can use this. We can't use that mana for anything. Spell Queller. Alright, here we go. Land tax. Declare the Revoker just to get that extra activation from a Johnny, because that means we can attack this turn. And attack this turn with everything. That's a solid 12. They don't have the extra black. Whoa! Oh, get a clue. Nice. Angelic Justice here. They're at 5. Somehow we swindled our way into the victory here. First place. 221 new items. We got our qualifier point and our play points. Where is this? Yeah. Apparently white's real good in Legacy Cube. I've known that, but I didn't know it was possible to get it if someone else was cutting it this hard. Each of us kind of splashed a color. They splashed black. We splashed blue. You can also splash red, or if the fixing is good enough, you can just go straight red, white. But the consistency of having a monocolored deck is important for speed in a Legacy Cube. Anyway, thanks for watching. Good luck in your drafts.